Photography is everywhere, and we all do it. But it's relatively new, it's only been around for about 200 years. In that space of time, nearly 4 trillion photographs have been taken. That would be like taking 500 photos of every single person on Earth. But what is the most famous photo ever taken? Not necessarily the most amazing or important photo, but the one seen by the most people. I'm Charlie, and today we're going to look at the most famous photo ever taken. Before we get into it, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too. Bliss. Bliss is said to be the most famous photo ever taken, and I'm sure at some point this was your computer's wallpaper. The photo Bliss is of some rolling hills and a nice blue sky. It was made famous when Microsoft used it as the Windows XP background. It was taken by Charles O'Rear in 1996, and Microsoft bought the rights to it in 2000. The picture is the most viewed photo in human history. It's said that over 2 billion people have seen it. Many accused Charles O'Rear of faking this photo. They said nowhere looks that perfect, and they said he must have made it in Photoshop. But it's actually a real location in Sonoma County, California, USA. Here is the scene in 2006 and 2017. Charles O'Rear says that anyone now from the age of 15 onwards for the rest of their life will remember this photo. It's not known exactly how much Microsoft bought the photo for, but it's said to be over $100,000. Analysts say it could have been anywhere from $100,000 to $1 million. It was so much that Charles O'Rear had to fly to the Microsoft headquarters in Seattle. This was to deliver the negatives of the image. That's because no courier service wanted to transport something so expensive. But amazingly, Bliss is nowhere near the most expensive photo in the world. Most expensive photo. Nowadays, many people think of photos as free. People put images up on Snapchat and Instagram and you don't need to pay to look at them. That's why it may surprise you that this is the most expensive photo ever taken. The image was sold at auction for $4.3 million. The photo is called Rhine 2 and it's of the River Rhine in Germany. It was taken by Andreas Gursky in 1999. But is it really worth it? What makes this photo so good? You may look at the photo and think, I could take that, so why is it so expensive? Critics say it shows a wonderful contrast of the grey shimmering river and the green fields. But really, art is only worth what people are willing to pay for it. Of course, it has no intrinsic value, but some very rich people like to show off and buy expensive art. First photo. You may never have thought about this before, but when did photography actually start? Well, the first photo ever taken was in 1826. It was taken by French inventor Joseph Nicephore Nates. And you're probably wondering, what is it? Well, it's actually the view outside his window in Burgundy. On that note, the first known selfie was taken by an American photographer. In 1839, Robert Cornelius took the first ever portrait photograph of himself. He removed the lens cap, ran into the frame and stood for 10 minutes to capture the position. That's because old cameras used to take forever to expose an image. First ghost. One amazing thing about photos is they can capture things our eyes can't see. Telephoto lenses can let us see things from miles away. And of course it also lets us capture things going too fast for the human eye. But then there's also the paranormal. The first ever ghost photo was taken in 1936. Ever since 1835, a ghost had been reported haunting the halls of Raymond Hall in Norfolk, England. The ghost is known as the Brown Lady, and thanks to cameras becoming more accessible, it was finally captured for the first time in 1936. The man who took this was an army captain named Hubert C. Provand. He took various photos of the house in the dark using a flash. It was only when he developed his negatives that the Brown Lady was revealed. Most retweeted photo. Let's leave history alone for a moment and go into the modern day. Of course, now the main way people access photographs is from social media. And the most retweeted photo in the world was taken by Ellen DeGeneres. This was during the 2014 Oscars. The image featured many stars, for example Kevin Spacey, Bradley Cooper, Brad Pitt, Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep and many more. Thanks to the star power of this photo, it gained 2.2 million likes and 3.1 million retweets. Many people don't realize that this photo caused quite a stir. Samsung had paid a lot of money to be a sponsor at the Oscars that year, but the show was stolen when Ellen took this photo with her iPhone. Ghost Soldier. This is one of the scariest and most famous images of all time. It was taken in the UK in 1919. The First World War had just finished, and to celebrate, Sir Victor Goddard's Royal Air Force Squadron decided to take a group portrait. But when the photo was developed, everyone who was in it was stunned. That's because it seemed to feature the ghostly face of a mechanic who passed away 2 days earlier. Freddie Jackson was a mechanic who passed away because of an air propeller accident. But this happened 2 days before the photo was taken. To make things even more creepy, this photo was taken on the day of Jackson's funeral. Most liked photo. Social media is the #1 way people consume photos nowadays. For many years, Kylie Jenner held the world record for the most liked photo on the internet. This was an Instagram photo announcing the birth of her baby daughter, Stormy. It was taken in February 2018 and has nearly 19 million likes. But on the 4th of January 2019, everything changed. An advertising executive made an account named World Record Egg. It was simply a stock photo of an egg, but within 10 days it already beat Kylie Jenner's photo, gaining 30.5 million likes. Today the photo has nearly 55 million likes and probably won't be beaten anytime soon. Tank Man. Right now, there's lots of concerns about China taking over Hong Kong. But did you know that the Chinese people had their own struggle back in 1989? On June 5th, 1989, there was an event known as the Tiananmen Square protest. This was a student-led protest demanding democracy in China. The protests did not succeed and thousands passed away. Many tanks ran over protesters. And that's why this image was the most famous photo of the event. The man in the image is known as the Tank Man. He tried to block tanks with his own body all alone. It was taken by an AP photographer called Jeff Widener, and amazingly the man is still unidentified to this day. It's not known whether he's even alive. First space photo. We're all familiar with the moon landing photos. They were a massive moment in human history, but they were not the first ever photos taken in space. This actually took place all the way back on the 24th of October 1946. It was taken by a camera which was mounted on a German V-2 missile, and the area of Earth captured in the image is the White Sands in New Mexico, USA. Loch Ness. The Loch Ness Monster is one of the most disputed things in the world. Many believe it to be true and some say it's a hoax. But photos of it sure have changed the world. There were sightings ever since 1923, but the most famous and first photo of it was taken in 1934. It's known as the surgeon's photograph. It was captured by a surgeon named Robert Kenneth Wilson. It was published in the Daily Mail and has since gone on to be one of the most famous photos in the world. Ghost Boy. This is not one of the first ghost photos ever taken, but it is said to be the most famous. The photo was taken inside the Amityville Horror House. The house is at 108 Ocean Drive, and it used to be the home of the DeFeo family. That was until Ronald DeFeo took the life of both of his parents, as well as his 3 siblings, Dawn, 18 years old, Mark, 12 years old, and John Matthew, 9 years old. Soon after, the Lutz family moved in, but they had to move out after 28 days because they said the house was haunted. They also caught this very scary image. It appears to show John Matthew DeFeo. That was the 9-year-old boy whose life was taken. But now it's time to make your voice heard. Comment below which photo you found most interesting. If you want some more amazing videos, then check out my second channel. But as always, thanks for watching. There's some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.